Lovely. Now, lots of times when you see an MC at a wedding, you think this must be a person who goes way, way back with the bride and groom, the bride or the groom, or both, who can regale a room for days and days with stories of growing up and all the trouble they got into and stuff like that. For me, it's not quite so. I was not there when Amanda was birthed into what will hopefully prove to be a long and prosperous life. I was not there in the scrape-knee days of learning to ride bikes and skateboards and combing out doll's hair and that kind of stuff. I was not there for those crazy high school parties, though they have become the stuff of legend around the office, that's for sure. Nor was I there through adolescence, the turbulent years where love would bloom and fizzle and bloom and fizzle. The reality is, my friendship with Amanda is really only about 2 years old, I suppose. And the reason that I know Amanda, what's that?
4 years. 4.
See, 2, 4, whatever it takes, right?
No.
And it is a woman's jean jacket, yeah. Looks good on me, too. Yeah. And the capacity in which I got to know Amanda is as her employer. And she as my dutiful servant. So you're scratching your head and you're thinking to yourself, okay, so let me get this straight. So she went to her employer and asked him to be the MC at her wedding. Does that kind of seem a little strange? And if it seems strange to you, believe me, it seems strange to me as well. To the extent that I came to her and I said, you're kidding, right? And she said, no, come on, it'd be fine. You do it, it'd be fun, everybody'd have a good time, come on. And I thought about it, I thought, yeah, that would be a good time. It'd be great fun. I'd love to support in that way. I'd love to play that role. Yeah, sign me up. I said, where's it going to be? And she said, well, it's going to be at Camp Shapansky's house. So for those of you who don't know, Camp Shapansky is my business partner, and as such, is Amanda's other employer. So at this point, in my mind, the whole thing has just gone from kind of strange to creepy. She's got the whole freaking org chart involved in the wedding. What does she want? What's she offering? And then all of a sudden it dawned on me. Amanda's thinking about this on a whole other level than when I'm thinking about it. She's thinking job security. And I have to have a certain respect for that. The truth is, in the last 2 or 4 years or whatever it's been, I've gotten to know Amanda as just a really wonderful, warm person, a great person to work with and to have around the office, and I'm delighted to see this day for her. Yay! Now, I want to tell you a little bit about Nathan. Friends, this is a bit of a different story. The first day Nathan walked into our office, I didn't know who he was, I didn't know why he was there. All I knew is that when he walked in with him walked the ruthless and horrific slaughter of about 24 innocents at the hands of a band of menacing gargoyles and demons and beasts from hell, the likes of which I had never seen in my life. And all this was happening on his t-shirt. And I confess to you, friends and community of support, that my first thought was not, hey, here's a nice young gentleman, maybe he wants to marry Amanda. My first thought was much more like, run! But I didn't run. I hung around, I got to know Nathan, and I've gotten to know Nathan over the last, I don't know, 2, 4 months, whatever it takes. And I've got to know Nathan as also being a really what I like about Nathan, he's a real calm presence. And when he walks into the office, as he often does, in with him comes, in our office, we're an agency, it can be frenetic, it can be kind of deadline driven, and he's just a real kind of calm guy, and he walks in and it just makes you feel like everything's going to be just okay. And I've even kind of developed a bit of a morbid fascination with the kind of creatures that he's I kind of look forward to that, I will be the first to admit. Okay, but it's not enough for me to sort of have a couple of months of experience with Nathan. I needed to go deeper on this. So I went to people at work, and I said, what kind of a guy is Nathan? What makes him tick? What's he like? And they said, you know, Nathan is a really nice guy at work. He's friendly, he's gregarious, he's outgoing. He's got these weird quirks, like sometimes he comes up to random guys, and he puts his arm around them, and he sticks out his tongue, and he makes these kind of heavy metal gestures, which, if you get it, is okay. But if you don't get it, as some don't, sometimes poor Nathan winds up on the floor of the office surrounded by paramedics. That is what happened, right? Yeah. So, the story of my friendship with Nathan, actually that's not true. He doesn't get beat up routinely at work, but it's a better story than the actual truth, so we'll go with it. So, I got to know Amanda. She's a great person. I got to know Nathan. He's a great person. But I needed to know the story of them as a couple. What makes them tick together? How do they spend their time? What do they do? So the three of us went out for drinks after work one day, and I asked them these questions. I said, let me in on your relationship a little. And they told me about adventures far and near. They told me about the delights of Trinidad, the salt, the sun, and the sand, and various things Trinidadian. But they also told me about things they like to do closer to home. Like, for example, the Fergus Truck Show. Where they got to spend the day hanging with legendary rockers like David Wilcox and Kim Mitchell, who I think you'll agree, though a little less menacing than Nathan's ordinary rock stars, are every bit as ugly. So there's kind of consistency there, which maybe is worth exploring at some point. So I got the sense over the course of the conversation that this is a couple that really enjoy each other and really enjoy the time they spend and the things they do together, which as far as I can tell, is as good a recipe for a successful marriage as any. What comes next here? Oh yeah, so it stands to reason that at the end of all this, Amanda and Nathan would get together, the inevitable would happen, and they would agree to get married. And the way they told me about it, it was really kind of an agreement. It was a bit of a handshake. You want to get married? You want to get married? Sure, sure, okay. But Nathan, being the always classy guy that he is, he went away and realized he needed to seal the deal. And so he came back on bended knee. Not a graphic artist. And he delivered on the hardware. And that, my friends, is what brings us to this moment, celebrating this love between these people. So. And that's enough from me for now. We are going to ask Amanda's sisters, Dana, Caitlin, and Nicole, to come up and share something with